Good evening. Hello, Skinny Radish. How are you doing? Glad you made it. We were talking, weren't we, just before? Yo, man, you good. Mind you, I'm terrible with my guitar specs. I just instantly forget them as soon as I get them. So, I believe it is a 20-inch radius. And the action is about average, I would say. However, this guitar is a little bit different. This one's a bit more lighter on the action. In fact, it's very low. Right, allow me to... Just need to pop this down a bit. There we go. So yeah, who else is here? I'm gonna have to start playing, aren't I? Get tuned first, maybe. Oh, there's Des. Des, how you doing? All right. Right. Des is in the house. This is amazing. Okay. Let's just get this set up. So I've only just jumped out of the shower, can you tell? So I'm like pretty chaotic. Just I'm running about doing so much stuff. It's unbelievable. In fact, we're going to have a little hair check here because it's not looking right. Oh, Des, thank you. You're far too kind. It's getting there. Do you know what I mean? The legato, like just guitar playing in general. But if we look at like one like tiny little vignette, doing legato, you know, at times I think this is amazing. There can't be any more than this. And then suddenly I realise how, like, kind of not to give my playing is and how much more there is to learn and do and practice. It's just crazy. But what I will say is I do get very, very excited when that happens. As with most things on guitar, because I think, like, a lot of the times we play, we're happy, we're kind of unaware of problems, and suddenly we get aware of those problems, and then it's like, all right, I need to practice these things. And I think in those times I pretty much embrace it and get excited about it. What time is it over here? We've got Troll in the house. Hello. What time is it here? It's 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. So I thought I'd crack out this guitar for a bit. I did put new strings on it about a week ago, but I haven't played it till this morning because I was shooting a video, which I didn't finish. But then it's like, it feels a bit, my hands feel a bit sticky on it. But anyway, we can, you know, I'm professional. I'll deal with it. Let's play something. Well, Distorted Dreams is always a good place to start, isn't it? Hi Andrew, how you doing? All right. Ooh, I had to think there at the end. Yeah, it's funny when you put strings on a guitar, then you don't play it for a bit, and then you pick it up, and it's like. I'm hoping it eases off. Maybe this is this is why you have fast fret, isn't it? I've never used fast fret, but I'm assuming that's what it's for, isn't it? Anybody? So there's something. Is fast fret a good thing or a bad thing? Because like the interesting thing is, there's a lot of things that I don't know about guitars. Because I had a gap and I just wasn't interested in them till sort of the last sort of 3 years, and now I'm sort of now catching up. It doesn't. Yes, it's 9 a.m. Cool. Where are you? I don't do covers because I don't want the copyright strike, and I'm all about original music. So everything I'm playing here, that track that I played, that's Distorted Dreams by my band McRocklin Hutch. You do have great legato for sure. Thank you. I used baby oil. Same ingredients as fast. Really? Is that a thing? For very cheap? Never tried it. I've never tried it. Des'll know. I didn't like fast fret. Made my strings dry and horrible. If I stopped using it, I like it bad. Yeah, this is what I thought. So I thought that would be the case. That you know. So I've done the right thing by not by not bothering with it. Okay. One, two. Oh, microphone. There we go. Back on. Right. Oh, come on. Technical problems. Hello. Right. There we go. Nearly. Typical. 1, 2. Right. I wish this mic would come on. Come on. There we go. So I've extended the headphones. It's a bit iffy. Oh, there we go. Back on. Cool. Right. So good insight from Des there. Baby oil helps with sticky fingers. That could be a good thing. Mineral oil. Oh, sorry, what happened to our Sunday night catch up? Sorry, Des, I meant to message it, but I was like totally like hectic with family stuff. So sorry about that. But I am free this Sunday, so we can definitely do this Sunday if you're free. If not, I'll find a different day. Do you also have hardware synths? I have in the timeout, in my timeout cupboard. So I'm big on synths. I love synths. In fact, in my live set here, I've got synths, but they're all software. And the reason I use software is because it's convenient, you know. That's it. Hardware in my timeout cupboard and box. So in this box here, I've got an OP1 and an OPZ. Actually, the OP1 I've seen is quite popular in the guitar community. There's this thing, is it Neural DSP are doing, where they're going about with an OP1 or the new OP1 and they're doing tracks of it. And really famous guitarists like Pliny and things like that. Pliny, I should say. So I've got one of those. I've got the Teenage Engineering OPZ, and I've got a few of the pocket operators, which are quite good fun. I've got in the other timeout cupboard, I've got Machine. That's kind of software thing, but like I never got on with it, so that's in there. Should sell it really. And I've got an SH101, and everything else I've sold. Do you still have any of your Ibanez guitars? Yes, I have. Green Meanie. I have my RG 560, which I'll never give up, and that's upstairs in the loft. So I've always got that. There's Omar. Omar, how are you doing? I'm doing good. I split my time with guitar, hardware, synths, Prophet 12. Yeah. I tell you what, like I don't have any time to split anymore. So I've always got to like focusing on the priorities. So literally, I'm waking up at 5:30 in the morning, and I'm doing solid music from 5:30 till actually I go back to bed. Apart from eating and maybe even driving the car, I'm like studying music or something. So for me, I've decided to really kind of try and double down on making YouTube content, and man, that is like, to do it properly, it's like a hard game, you know, because I want to have a consistent stream of content coming out. So the last week I've done 2 videos. I was aiming for doing 2 videos a week, but it's like, you know, because I want to kind of beat the algorithm and start kind of building the channel a bit more, as well as doing the lives, as well as, you know, doing the shorts. So, you know, that alone's a tall order. 3rd album's been written for McRocklin and Hutch, so I'm on with that. I think 4 or 5 tracks deep into it. So it's like, and then there's the guitar practice, and that like, that's like a hell of an upkeep. Seriously, you know, and but I'm enjoying it. I think it's brilliant. You know, there's like so many challenges that I've got, and I'm so into that kind of, you know, self-development. Which has meant I haven't bought any gear. I haven't bought any since, and you know, I'm doing it. Yeah, you know, I'm doing it. And so I've been down, because of it, I've been down to 2-3 streams a week. But yeah. I can't really describe the, like, when you start making content and then taking it seriously, the actual stuff, like things you have to do. It's just insane. Right. All right, I'm going hard on guitar right now. Just purchased 3 RGs in the past 2 months. Brilliant. Yeah, you know. So I did buy a new book. I got the Brett Garsted. I bought the Brett Garsted Legato book, and I highly recommend it. You know, it's absolutely brilliant. So I've just been kind of working through the exercises in that. Finally ordered an Osiris. Yeah, you say good choice. Shorter scale. Cool. Sounds good, that. This is the other thing I got. I got a free sample pedal. How cool is that? What's that? Brett Garsted, great legato. Also, Alan Holdsworth is amazing. I do listen to quite a bit of Alan, and I don't really know what's going on. I can hear bits, and I've certainly started putting legato into my own playing, which, you know, in fact, I've got some content. The last video I posted was just basically how to start getting that chromatic playing in your, you know, in your improvisations. That kind of thing. Oops. See, I've been really enjoying the sample hold pedal. I've got the infinite pedal by TC Electronics. There doesn't seem to be anything in software like it. Yeah, so the Holdsworth thing's cool. Nice thing about self-learning is every little bit of theory is an explosion in the brain. Absolute. Yeah, I like the way you put that. Thank you, Perplexity. Just picking up on targeted 2s and 5s. That sounds interesting. I mean, I've been trying for a while just to try and get like quartal harmony stuff into my playing. Yeah, that kind of thing. Can I ask what your action height? I've got no idea. Is this like... Just need to get rid of this lead. Hold on, it's doing my head in. Can I ask what... I've got no idea. This guitar, it's like really low. The other one, black guitar, it's a lot higher. But I'll get that one out. So this is like sort of my main weapon that I'll use. I take them to get set up. I never set anything up. I couldn't. I haven't got a clue. Yeah, so... Oh, there's Lindsay. You're the champion guitar. Thank you. This Kiesel's amazing. So, Swamp, let's see if I can remember the spec on this. Swamp Ash Body. I've got the Richer Light fretboard, which I love. We've got Walnut and Purple Heart, 5-piece neck at the back there. I don't know if that's coming across on the camera. Look at that, it's beautiful, isn't it? Active Fishman pickups. These are the McRocklin Signature, which are my favourite set. Second favourite set are the classics, but these are sort of a blend between, I suppose, a Bassy and the classics, really. But they sound great. I mean, they're really good. They're fat. And they got those nice splits. Transmit. It's the 2-5 ones, but on the 2 you look up the keys 2 and 5 before. Right, I see. Right, we're getting very jazzy. Cool. All right. I have a Calvin Kiesel and it plays great. Greg Howe GH24, great neck. That sounds, yeah. I've always wondered what the Greg Howe one would play like. But yeah. Need to get this picking hand warmed up. That'll do. That's the thing, is like when you do a lot of legato, then like my picking sort of goes to hell, and then it's a balancing act, isn't it? So I think, in theory, I should have my looping should be up and running here. Let's have a look. Let's get some drums on. Is that going to work? we go. That's my jam. Okay. Hi, Dal. How you doing? Hey, bro. How you doing? Can you play Jimi Hendrix? I can, but not here because I don't want to get a copyright strike. It's all about original music. But covers are cool. All right, I love tremolo, but hate the fact that you bend one string and the rest change pitch. Yeah, it's a thing. You just got to dial it in with your ears, haven't you? That's the thing. Nice jam, thank you, Troll. That's very kind of you. Cool, man. Who's your favourite instrumental guitar player? It's difficult. Honestly, I couldn't. Like a desert island guitar player that I could listen to would be difficult. I'd probably, not that I play anything like him, but I probably enjoy listening to not all, but some of Alan Holzer because it's just so amazing and I get kind of lost in his ideas. You know, I find it highly entertaining. So maybe that, because like I wouldn't get bored of it. Because I think like listening to his music, I kind of discover patterns. I discover more and more patterns in his playing that I recognise the more and more I mature as a player. And I find that quite rewarding, if that makes sense. You maybe should post your own twist on a cover for more YouTube. I could do, but I'm not bothered about kind of that sort of exposure, to be fair. Also, your style really reminds me of Satriani God. Yeah, I think there's a touch of that, although I wasn't really inspired by his legato thing, but yeah, I can see the similarities, put it that way. But yes, I mean, like one thing, if you're on here for the first time, do subscribe to the channel. That's really, really important because there's lots of cool stuff happening at the minute on here. So do subscribe and get notifications for the lives and when content's getting posted up, because there's lots of free guitar lessons at the minute. But there's going to be some music production tutorials that are going to be coming up. So the reason I'm doing the music production thing is because I run 2 music coaching groups, which, if you know, places are limited, but if there's anybody on here who wants to join one of my coaching groups, and what actually happens in these groups is they're all designed to help you make, as you know, the best music you've ever made in the shortest possible time. I've been running the coaching for about 3 or 4 years now, but I've been trained as a coach since 2017, I believe. So I've coached like thousands of people, and I've never had an unhappy customer yet. But if you're struggling, right, let's say, you know, you're struggling to make music and you find it hard and you're procrastinating and you're unsure and, you know, there's lots of like uncertainty. If that's you, then the coaching group is definitely for you, because the whole definition of coaching and my approach is I'm not interested in installing skills, right? What I am interested in is helping people to get them to facilitate the skills that they already have to make music, because at the end of the day, I think we all have enough skills, right, to make great music. So that's the first thing. So the coaching group, if you're interested, just give me an email. The email is in the description, and it's also, you can get in contact with me through the Discord, which is in the about. Okay, so that's the 2 ways. So if you're interested in that and you want to make music, and then this is the thing for you. And it doesn't matter what style you are. Hi Dave Murphy, how you doing? It doesn't matter what, you know, it's not, you don't have to be into shred metal, or, you know, this is house music, drum and bass music. We're not going to listen to each other's music. You're kind of working independently. But when we're in the group, what happens is we meet up in a Zoom call, and then I take you through some music making exercises. But because it's coaching, I'm not really installing new skills, but I'm showing you insights into your own way of working. So having said that, for content, so the things that people will ask me, right, that are to do with skills, I'm just going to put up as free content. So, for example, how to EQ a kick drum, how to EQ a snare, how to EQ a hi-hat. That's all going to be there. You know, how to make a drum pattern, how to select sound, there's just everything to do with production, how to dial in your reverb, how to set up your delays. So I'll kind of slowly, when I get round to it, start uploading music production stuff. There'll be stuff on synth design. There'll be definitely something on template building, without a doubt. That'll be a big thing. And the other thing I'm going to do is those free tutorials that are going to be on YouTube. I'll not be using, well, I'll limit it, but I'll be using mainly Ableton plugins as well, because obviously, I mean, I have tons of stuff and not everybody has like access to everything that I have. So we're going to keep it easy and just use the resources that actually come natively. So if you don't use Ableton, it doesn't matter. You know, what you learn is transferable to anything. Yeah, so I found that using software synths like Arturia gave me too many synths and sound options, and I couldn't get anything finished. Yeah, and that's it. Like, that whole choice paralysis is like one of the things I often, in fact, pretty much all the time, end up having to unwind in people. In fact, I mean, when you look at sort of my template here, let's see if it works. There you go, look. How professional. So this is my live template. That's the looper there that I've just been using. I'll just delete those. Right. But in this setup, what I have is I've got all my synths here. And my synths of choice are the Tal SH101. Check that bad boy out. So that's usually my bass. Now, the reason I like this is because it's all sliders, right? And it's limited. I don't actually go ever preset hunting. I just basically have one preset on here. There's maybe one other that I'll use. And what I'll do is I'll just dial that preset in as I'm going, basically, as I'm writing. And then the other synth I'll have is I use the Juno 106. Nice and easy to use. And then drums, I've got GGD, but I've also got, for all my kind of electronic stuff, I use EXO, which is this fella here. So there you go. So Joe Satriani is your favorite guitarist. That's cool. So yeah, I just find, you know, using those particular synths quite easy in the writing stage to use. But I mean, I have other things as well. No, just come out of this. I can see this. It hit me that learning music needs to be internalized much more than geography or something. Yep. Each of my hardware synths has its palette, and I can get on with composing. Cool. With the G3 concerts that Joe and Steve are improvising, yeah, I love improvising, and I love listening to other guitarists improvising. I also have a template with all of my groups pre-built and master effects, yeah. It's all about quick but powerful workflow in the DAW. Yeah, and I mean, like one thing that I find is, so my templates evolved from basically a drum machine plus 3 of it, like instruments. So I think of it like beats plus 3. So you've got your drums, bass, a mid-range instrument and a lead instrument. And then what I do is, like, after every session, just add to it, depending on what kind of problems and demands I'm encountering. Do you have a Roland Cloud? I've got 3 months for Roland Cloud Ultimate for free, but didn't install it yet. I do actually, and I never use it now. I used to use it all the time. So the Roland Cloud, there's a couple of cool things on there that I do really like, and I like the Juno 60, but I never use it because it's just so buggy. The Juno 60 sounds really, really good. In fact, it's second best to the soft tube Juno. And I really like the 808 drums as well. And the 808 drums, actually, the Cloud drums are on like most of the McRocklin sort of like second album stuff. So yeah, really good. I really like that stuff. But yeah, really good. I think we'll play another tune. Yeah. So, I think after that, I'm going to have a cup of tea. Oh, time for new Thermos flask. That's not very good, is it? It's not very well. There we go. Is this not the most rock and roll thing you've ever seen? A rock guitarist having a tea break, like a council worker. I just need like some sandwiches or something like that. That's what I should get. Yeah, I need and I should have like a lunchbox as well, shouldn't I? Or like a little picnic thing, and I could put it out and. Actually, I am thinking about upgrading the beverages. What I was thinking on a live morning session is I could do more of a Japanese tea ceremony. So I've got I've got a nice see-through like glass teapot. So and you're seeing the lives on my table here. So I can have my glass teapot here, and then I'll have some milk oolong. I really like milk oolong tea. But we could have different teas, right? Guest teas on the morning. And then what I could have my usual coffee, and then I can get my little teacup out, and then I'll have the thermos flask of just normal water, and then we can add that and then watch it kind of brew, and then when it's time it, and then when it's ready, drink it. So I think there's something like that. That'll be good. We could all drink our own tea at the same time. I need a Hutch thermos flask, yeah. So anybody, Thermos, if you're listening, I think we need to talk, because I think we could probably shift a few of them. Yes, thank you. Fire in the chat. JDXI, very nice. Lots of fire. Hit the likes, yeah, Give me some thumbs up, that would be good. Better than covers for sure. Get some Yorkshire tea, and in fact, that's what this is. John Bonham drowned by tea. Interesting. Yeah, logo, absolutely. And your own brand of tea. Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? Now we're talking. I have been to Hull, Radish, when we were on tour. When McRocklin Hutch was on tour with Dragon Force, we played Hull. All I remember, I don't know which bit of Hull we were in. We're in Hull. It was just like a long straight street, and we played in this place that was sort of, I don't know. It was a bit of a rave venue, but it had a stage, and it was like a massive village hall to me, but massive. We played there, and I remember across the road was a kebab shop, and that's all I remember. And there wasn't much else there. It must have been the Welly. I'm just guessing. That rings a bell. What's happened to Herm Lee? Has been on tube. He hasn't been on tube. I don't know. Is the answer to that? I'm sure he'd be somewhere. He'd be writing or touring or doing lots of stuff. I would imagine. But it was great. I really enjoyed doing that tour. It was such a cool thing. Like Teespring t-shirts, they print and ship for you. Yeah, cool. In fact, that reminds me. So I'm running out of tops. So I'm back to this. This was a cool find. This was in a vintage shop, So I got this from a vintage shop. I've got a couple of these, but the crazy sweatshirts that I wear. So I've got the satanic nun, and then I've got the robot, and I've got Boba Fett, and then I've got a skull, and then I've got the other tops where I've got Pamela Anderson. I can't remember the other ones. I've got a T-shirt with what's the name out of Faint the Crack, Glenn Close. But I need to get some more. Yeah, it is. It's that kind of thing. So, at the end of the day, I suppose my genre as an artist is synthwave. So it's quite fitting. It kind of fits in with the vibes, man. It's like spot on there. Yeah, it's nice just sitting here and chilling out. Because I've had a really busy day. So any guitar questions? Any music production questions? I'm always talking about guitars. What about music production? Any plug-in questions? Anybody want to see anything? What do you want to do? So I do the production. So I tend to write everything on synths, and then I'll write the tune, and then I send it to Thomas, and then he puts his guitar on it. And what I send him is usually from my end fully mixed, and he puts his guitar on it. Then he does a mix master, and then any final tweaks he'll do, and then that's it. It's done. So that tends to be the process that we do. I think there's been one or two tracks where he's had a riff, and then he sent me the riff, and then I've put that into the track, and then built a track around it, or either side of it. I think Blackline was like that, and there was one other. So that tends to be it. But it's interesting because when we first started McRocklin Hutch, I didn't play guitar. I wasn't actually interested in playing guitar. I was kind of getting really bored with my dance career. So I was producing a lot of dance music, and the latter of it was, I suppose, the back end of it was producing tech house, and sort of everybody from the EDM world was then jumping on tech house, and then tech house was just becoming awful, and it was forcing me to become more and more weird and cliquey with my music, and I was just getting really bored of just bass lines and hardly any. It was just bass lines, drums, and tons of quirkiness, which was great at the time, but after I'd done it a lot, I was getting really sick. So I was wanting to do something I was wanting to go back to something with a melody, and I just went through this whole phase of trying to find different genres of electronic music. And I don't know if you ever had this, so I would look on Beatport or Track Source or Track It Down, and I'd go through and try and hunt for inspiration, try and find other artists or labels that had something, and everything I was listening to was just awful. I just couldn't stand it, and my whole world of dance music collapsed because there was just nothing there that was inspiring on the scene, and it felt pretty hopeless actually. So then it just happened as I was going through that. I mean, I was still releasing stuff, just not liking anything. Not that matters, but. And Thomas was like, "Oh, do you fancy doing there's this genre synthwave? Why didn't you ever listen to it?" So I had to listen to it, and because I'd actually tried to do one dance track and I didn't like it, but then I wasn't really into guitars. But then I heard synthwave and I thought actually guitars are going to really work on this. So I just produced a couple of tracks. He put guitars on it, and I was like, "Oh, this is really good." And then I just basically banged out an album. In about 8 weeks, I think, that album was wrote. Thomas did all the guitars. And then we released a few singles, and then we revised it. And then I think Thomas then mixed that album, the first one, Riding Out, if I remember rightly. Yeah. And then it was released. And that was it. And then next thing we knew, Herm Lee was in contact. "Do you want to go on a tour? We like your music." And we did the Dragon Force tour. Next thing, we had collaborations with Angel Vivaldi, features from Angel Vivaldi, Jordan Rudess, Dream Theater, and Michelangelo Badio. I mean, that was incredible. So they played on the second album. And there's just a ton of, ton of singles that were released as well. So it's been great. And we're being featured on some great playlists like Mr. Suicide Sheep, New Retro Wave. And it's done all right, sort of, in terms of like being an underground band that's organically grown. We've never had to do any paid playlisting for Spotify or anything like that. We've always been picked up by a playlister and put out there, which has always been great, and I do appreciate it. So it's good. Tech House, yeah, Kevin and Perry. If I wanted to learn how to improve, like, what's the plan of action and approach? Well, I can give you a tip. Because I started this and I thought I can't be arsed with it. I think it's like this. So Alan Holdsworth, one of his influences was Olivia Messiaen, the composer, and he likes the Messiaen modes, and he particularly likes mode 3 and 6. And I think one of like Alan's approaches is that he likes harmonies of equal importance, so notes of equal importance. So every, like we have, like I'll do passing tones, and I'll always like fall onto a note that's actually in tune. Well, he'll just fall onto whatever note he feels like, and it sounds good. Pay to play. It's an interesting one, isn't it? I suppose the pay-to-play thing is, like the major record labels, they're all pay-to-play, aren't they? When you think about it. But you can't, like, if you do decent music, people will find it, and if you're in a niche, like, see, like McRocklin Hutch is a very sort of, like, nichey thing. It's shred wave, and there's not that many shred wavers about. So it was kind of easy to sort of get noticed in that. So, yeah, Messiaen modes 3 and 6. Here we go. Are you gay? I'm not. But what if I was? Still in the closet. Who? Me or you? Troll. I know, there's always one. Yep, done. He's gone. But I haven't had to block anybody for ages. But I think this is the thing, like the vertical stream, the numbers are good, but then like you get the odd sort of challenging moment, which, like last week was what? You look like a t-shirt. You look like the picture on your top. That was one. Yeah, he's blocked. He's gone. Crazy, isn't it? Why? Why? Like, disqualify yourself from life, It's funny, isn't it? So, let's play some more music. I'm going to get the other guitar. In fact, well, I'm just going to play this monster now. Obviously, I can't fit the full guitar on the screen, but I've got a feeling. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? So this, you know, although you bump into absolutely everything, is a total weapon of a guitar. Kiesel Hyperdrive. I love this. This is my like sexy rock pose guitar. If it's true, all right. I'm hoping I've got battery in it. See what that's like. Absolute beast, this thing. All right. Okay, see a skinny radish. Wow. I have a 2012 RG shocking pink in my lap right now. Cool. Let's play a track then. Let's do Neon Skies. I feel fully synth-waved up now, by the way, guys. I mean, guitar, top, hair. Yeah. Boom. So what a guitar that is. I mean, I love this. It's just massive, isn't it? What do you reckon? I love the back of it. I love the neck, through neck. It's cool, isn't it? Battery pack, which I need to charge. And just absolute rock star guitar. But yeah. Back to this. Sticky finger guitar. There we go. Maestro Hutch. Oh, that's very kind, isn't it? Albino, how are you doing? Maestro Hutch. I was watching a video feed and this lady Charlotte at Tomorrowland, Brazil, and curious to ask if you in the big festivals there's a place for a synthwave and guitar. Right, okay, so I thought about this a while ago. I thought, right, and it was a desperate thought, right? I must have been in a dark place, right? But I was thinking, right, okay, Tomorrowland, big festivals, how do you get guitar in? And there's an artist called Timmy Trumpet, right? And basically he just plays, to me, generic EDM music. I mean, obviously it's well produced. It's like kind of like well produced, music. Anyway, typical EDM sort of thing, and then he gets his trumpet out and he plays a few lines on it and puts the trumpet away. And I thought, well, you could do something like that. But I think people just want the big, San Holo, yeah. So I've heard, yeah, I remember him. It's I couldn't go back to doing. I don't like to play guitar to the extent that I'd want to play it. I think it would ruin the show. I mean, it wouldn't ruin the show for the people who want guitar. Not shred. You say it's the shred thing, and having said that, actually, there is a track that we're doing with it's an ongoing thing, but quite a well-known guitarist on one of our album tracks. I had a phase of doing, instead of doing synthwave, doing breakbeat. So I was really enjoying doing the breakbeat. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put Spotify on in the background. I should put it on, shouldn't I? For the last 20 minutes. Dream Stream, where is it? Oh, there we go. Volume's all set up there. Very good. Yeah, I think it's such a niche, because one of the problems I have with synthwave is there's not many big labels. You have to just sort of release independently. You can't. There's nothing there apart from new retrowave and fixed or whatever it's called. Unless you get signed to a major. Whereas dance music, there's loads of big labels, and there's you can just label whore, you can just send your stuff to whoever, and 9 times out of 10, I would get music released, and then the label would promote it, but you don't make any money out of it. But it's a great way to sort of build your audience, though, being signed to other labels. I mean, you can rapidly build an audience that way, but it's synthwave difficult. But yes, you could have a good Gunship, McRocklin Hutch, Wolf Club, Midnight. Yeah, that would work, wouldn't it? Pilot. Yeah. I forgot actually. I was listening to that the other day. I did a solo for Pilot. I did check out lines of code. So I did like last year. I did some shred guitar for me. He got in contact and he went, "You know that legato stuff you do? I like that. Will you do some of that?" And I went, "Okay then." So I did a solo from. So anybody on here who's watching and you're here for the first time, do subscribe to this channel, please. And if I can have some more thumbs up, that would be good as well. I'll play another track. Let's see, what have I got left? One of them. That's it. I know the key now. Oops. we go. Boom. Right, oh my guitar, right, chaos. Guitar chaos. Right, there we go. Yes, thank you, Troll. Do some synthwave production with Eliza G. Wonder who that is. Yes, they are all available as backing tracks on Spotify. So there are the McRocklin and Hutch instrumentals. In fact, let me just see. McRocklin. Hutch. The instrumentals is here. Wasted Distorted Dream Spectrum. Yep, there are there, at least the riding out stuff's there. So yeah, if you look for McRocklin and Hutch, there are the McRocklin and Hutch instrumentals for you to jam on time and time again. In fact, I should jam on them really. I'm terrible with my own tunes, I forget them and everything. I never practice them. There's also Dreamstream as well. So Dreamstream is a collection of all the stuff that never really got released, stuff that was kind of half finished that I quickly got finished to release on Dreamstream, which is royalty-free streaming. So you can just, use the Dreamstream stuff on your own streams or whatever. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Fat Thor. Brilliant. Well, I think I'm coming to an end. So, it's been a pleasure, everybody. But I've got to actually go and prepare everything for tomorrow morning. So 5:30 tomorrow, I'm getting up and I'm going to do a lesson on hybrid picking. Okay, so it's going to be the hybrid picking primer. So what you need to know, at least what I wish, I knew before I started doing hybrid picking. Thank you, Troll. Dinosaur Jr., I remember them. They're like an indie band. Yes, I remember them, like Ned's Atomic Dustbin and Dinosaur Jr. So, thank you, Fat Thought. Thank you very much for that. That's so generous. Thank you. So I remember, yes, Dinosaur Jr. I like that sort of 90s indie vibe. And I tell you, the bands I really, really liked back then were Swerve Driver. Absolutely love Swerve Driver. In fact, they've been on Rick Beato, the singer, a couple of times. Swerve Driver, My Bloody Valentine. Like, I loved, like, what the Loveless album's just absolutely, like, it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I absolutely loved the Loveless album. It was a lot of inspiration to me. Jesus Jones was also another thing. I loved that electronic crossover. And I was in a band back then that did all of that, which then became the Deadbeat Radicals. And the Deadbeat Radicals, which then became Freakstar, incredibly enough, I released all of the stuff on SoundCloud, so you can hear what I was doing back in the 90s as Freakstar on SoundCloud. But I really loved like early Junkie XL as well. So Big Sounds of the Drags was a massive influence, certainly on my production. Jesus Jones, I suppose, were the Manchester sound in a way. But it was that electronic crossover I loved, like, so Keeping Up with the Joneses, I loved that song. International Bright Young Thing was quite a poppy thing. I wasn't keen on like zeros and ones era, but I like the Liquidizer album. That was pretty cool. But I was just really interested in that kind of electronic crossover. And I think the main thing with me with that is because, as well as being a shred rock guy back then, I was also a raver, believe it or not. Like the dance music thing's always been a big thing in my life. So I was out raving back in the 90s, early 90s, when rave music was rave music, when it was like more like breakbeat and jungle. Yeah. So people who I like then would be people like Joey Beltram. James Brown is dead. Yeah, those are the days. Dominator. Charlie by The Prodigy. In Your Face, 808 State. But actually, we'll have Bicep. Bicep are a good sort of the early Bicep music, which is a new, to me, like a modern version of 808 State. They're pretty cool, actually. In and out. I wasn't that fussed on Aphex Twin, and I think that was sort of like a bit later on for me, Aphex Twin. But I didn't relate it to my ravey nights out, I think. But all of that stuff's just, it's been, great sort of influences sort of in all the music I do. Cool. So I think that's it for me. Anybody here who hasn't subscribed, do subscribe. Do give a thumbs up. That would be great. Information Society, I'm not that familiar with them. Oh, who was it who did Every Time I See the Girl? Shades of Rhythm. I used to love that song at the rave. I used to think, I listened to it on YouTube and I thought, oh, that doesn't sound very good. But actually at the time in the club, with the breakdown and the vocals, it sounded absolutely epic in my head. Oh, that's great. Like, you hear it now and the vocals are slightly out of tune. But then again, we come from the world of AI and perfection, don't we? So I should do a stream where I sing to everybody. You'll come on here one day and I'll do covers. Christmas. How about that? We'll have a Christmas sing-along. So the other thing, anybody who's interested in one-to-one coaching, there is availability for that. So if you're interested, do email me. So any kind of musical problems that you're having, email me here. And we can do, the structure of the one-to-one coaching is I do the thinking environment, and it's really good. So I just ask you questions and you get insights and you work out, you solve all of your problems through me questioning, and you get the insights that way. Proper coaching, not teaching, facilitating your skills. There are the coaching groups. Anybody who wants to, meet me on a Zoom call in a group of 4 other people and sit there in front of your door and make absolutely shitloads of music. Coaching groups are absolutely brilliant. I can guarantee you'll make and finish music. But you do need to join it for 3 months in order to do that. To be able to sort of have a particular system that I take you through. So in order to learn that, it takes about 3 months. Other than that, guitar lesson, anybody, very limited space, but anybody who wants a one-to-one guitar lesson, I've got a couple of slots. So if there's any particular aspect of guitar that you would like to improve and you think I can help you, then give me a shout as well. So just send an email and I can tell you prices and things like that. But I'm very reasonable. So there you go. Value for money, as always. I've got 13 thumbs up. I have to have 14. I'm not leaving. 13's meant to be unlucky, isn't it? It's really weird because I always end up with 13. And I can't like my own channel. Or at least not when I'm on it live. I might sneakily do it later. Oh, no, don't take the thumbs away. Right, whoever took the thumb away, put it back on. So it's 13. Right, thank you. Right, now, somebody who hasn't done a thumbs up, add a thumbs up. There we go. Yay, I'm happy now. Is there one more for a bonus before I go? Come on, 15. Let's get to 15. Going. 15 likes. No. Never mind. All right, guys, it's been a blast. So next live session is going to be Monday morning, 6 o'clock UK time, and it'll be the following Wednesday as well. So I will see you then. Bye for now.